What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about how to properly soft click your kicks. I hear a lot of your guys' kicks and they're way too distorted and crunched, so I'm going to show you exactly how you know when you've clipped it just enough and how to do it perfectly. So let's jump right into this. Alright guys, so we're actually going to be building a kick from scratch, and then we're going to go through the whole process of clipping it and making sure everything is sounding good. So we made this melody on the last episode, and this is what it sounds like right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and find a snare really quick and throw that in. Let's get a simple kick pattern in here real quick. Alright, so yeah, usually I throw these velocities up all the way. What we're going to do is we're just going to stretch these out to make sure the full sample is playing of the kick. So I actually already have a clipper on here right now. And if you don't have the classic clipper plugin that I have, you can go into, I would grab the saturator here. What you can do is you can just turn this soft clip on right here, and then it's going to soft click. It's going to do the same thing right there. Alright, so I got the kick in here, and it's on negative 12 dB, so we just have it riding at the top right now. Let's just see how it sounds right here. So it sounds pretty good, but it does sound a little bit too much distorted. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You just want to turn down the volume before it goes into the clipper. So you could just use this volume knob right here and turn it down so that you get it to clip at the right amount. So let's do that. See how much better that sounds already? Now let's go down a little bit lower. I think 17 is a good number because it's still clipping it. You can still hear the clip effect that you want, that little distorted fuzziness, but it's not overpowering it. So I'm going to do it with saturator really quick because there's another way that you can do it with this plugin. Okay, so if we go ahead and put saturator, let's see if 17 still sounds good. I would almost back it down a little bit more. So maybe like negative 22 for the saturator. You can see it's doing a little bit more, and you can play with these different curves in here. I would mess with maybe the soft sine or the sine fold, the sinoid fold or whatever you call it. You don't want like the hard curve or something like that. That might be too much for the kick. So one of these softer curves does better. But I'm going to put it back down to 17 and use my other way. So just note that when you add any effects to your kick, so let's say that you are putting some, like you're boosting some of the mids in your kick with an EQ or something, that's actually going to be adding more dB, so make sure to gain stage. So if you have an EQ like this, there should be a spot where you can, put negative dB in the out so that you can counteract how much gain that you're actually getting from it. So that's how you can keep it at a consistent level. Otherwise, you can just turn down this more as you add each plugin, but that's just more work and it's not clean. So I would make sure that you're gain staging with each thing that you use. after you find the appropriate level. So one thing I'll show you too really quick since we're doing the kick is there's usually a boxy frequency somewhere around, I would say 400 to 600 hertz, and what you can do is you can zoom around for it, do something like this, and you're just looking for that boxy part of the kick, and we can get rid of it a little bit. Sounds like it's right in there, but I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. Almost sounds like a raindrop right there. So what we can do is we can just turn this down a couple dBs. So there'll be a slight difference. Let's see if we can tell by turning it off and on. So it does tighten it up a little bit if you could hear that difference. I'll do it one more time. And if you have too much highs going on in your kick, this one sounds fine to me, but you could actually cut out some highs in your kick as well. But that's only if you really need to. And usually when you take out something in your kick, you want to add something back to it. So first what we're going to do before we do anything else is we are going to make sure that this right here isn't making a noticeable difference in our kick. So let's look at the level really quick. And we'll turn off the clipper for this. Okay, so that's actually adding 0.3 dBs just because we're getting rid of some of that boxiness and it's letting more room for the punch and everything else stand out. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this down 0.3. .6 and 0.66, that's close enough for my liking. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a different kind of EQ and then boost some of the high range. But what you could do is you could do this right in the same EQ, or you could put a second instance of the EQ on afterwards and then add it there. Whatever you feel most comfortable with. So I'm going to use a floating band dynamic EQ here. Okay, so I'm going to look for my first band here where the subby part of the kick is hitting, usually somewhere around 100 plus or minus a little bit. And let's go ahead and solo just our kick. So right there sounds good to me, so I'm just going to raise that up a little bit. And then we'll take this 3 right here, and then we're going to find the second part. Maybe right there. We're also going to boost this, maybe just a little bit less. Now we have something like this. And it gives it a lot of extra grit. So now we have to gain stage this one as well. So it's adding about 1.9. Okay, now we can turn everything back on. We got a nice little crunchy kick. Alright guys, so that's how you clip your kick perfectly and how you can get it nice and crunchy and also to be punchy without being too munchy. But anyways guys, I hope you found that one useful. Better not see any more beat submissions with an overpowered kick now. But anyways guys, subscribe to the channel if you're new here because we're uploading daily tutorials that you're not going to want to miss out on. And I'll be talking to you guys again in the next one. Peace out.